Raiders and the Broncos, and it's all up next.
We find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. But today we start the new season with an AFC West division battle right out of... New season of NFL football is here, and we're off in 2023 on EA Sports. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, they'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Heading out with their new man under center for 2023, the former Patriot, former 49er, Jimmy Garoppolo.
It's another typical season for Jimmy G last year. When he was out there, he was excellent, leading the 49ers to 7 wins and throwing 4 times as many touchdowns as interceptions. Then the injury bug bit again. For Las Vegas, they're counting on him being able to do the exact same thing they saw in San Francisco, but avoiding injury while doing so.
43 yards rushing for him now. What a drive for him to kick off the new season. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And that's just a solid, good physical run there as he motors for 9 yards.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of this caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. Well, this, of course, is an intriguing Week 1 opener. On one sideline, you've got Josh McDaniels, Raiders head coach. But remember, back in Denver where he was the head man in 2009 and 2010 as well. And on the other sideline, Sean Payton making his debut as head coach of the Broncos.
Two established coaches. Both of them made their bones on the offensive side of the ball. And Sean Payton won a Super Bowl as the head coach of the Saints. This is going to be fun to see them match wits.
A first red zone opportunity of the new year here as they come up now 1st and 10. A quick throw out to Adams on the perimeter. Man, this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17.
But that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking.
Now Garoppolo lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Carlson able to put this one through. Well, all offseason, probably a lot of thought goes into that first drive of Week 1. They didn't get the touchdown, but at least they got something.
And what I like about it is that they didn't overthink it, because you're exactly right. A lot goes into the offseason, the preseason, to get to that first drive of the regular season. They went right downfield, mission accomplished, points on the board.
From his end zone, here's Tremont Smith. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Well, the Broncos offense gets set to go to work, and at the helm in his 2nd season wearing orange and blue, Russell Wilson.
And similar to his nickname, Russell Wilson has a dangerous mix of skills, the ability to throw from the pocket and extend plays and throw on the run. Not to mention an absolute winner. Usually has his team in the playoffs competing for Super Bowl opportunities.
Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. Well, fingers crossed here. First quarter of a new season, already an injury. And while they attend to him, we'll step aside. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. That's complete. It's Greg Dulcich. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
I know
some guys that love to start the year off with a deep shot downfield, trying to begin things with a home run ball. That might be the more exciting option, but I think that this was the smarter play.
And down he goes, brought down a Raider sack. Max Crosby blowing up the play and getting the sack. Well, anytime you sack Russell Wilson, that's a win for the defense, but to get him here on his opening drive of the ball game, that's a really big win for that defense.
And the goal every week, keep him in the pocket. Don't let him get to the perimeter, because when he's in the open field, not only can he hurt you, but also you lose sight of receivers downfield, and they'll hurt you with big plays.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. That time he was looking for Jerry Jeudy, but now it's third down.
12.
Now it's Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up fourth down. On fourth down, it's Riley Dixon on now to kick it away for Denver. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45, and it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. They finished off their opening drive of the campaign with a field goal on the last drive. Now they'll search for a touchdown here on this go-around, 1st and 10. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Holding offense.
All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
Still first
And let's
down.
remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute.
Now Garoppolo is in trouble, and down he goes. Randy Gregory, the outside linebacker, dropping him for a loss of 6. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now, and it's Las Vegas with the football, as they've got it facing a 2nd and long situation.
Here we go. 11.
Garoppolo now. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. DJ Jones, he's the one that drops him this go-around, and that pass rush getting strong here. Back-to-back sacks. Back-to-back sacks have this place in a frenzy as they line up again, 3rd and long now. They will run the draw with Jacobs. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
That was a good, strong run there. While well picked up a first down, it was definitely something needed by that offense. A positive run. They got a good push by their guys up front. Maybe it's something they can build on as this game continues.
That's returnable now for Smith. 45 yards, that's what the punt goes for. 5 on the return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. They were forced to punt on their initial drive of the new season. Now they're ready to go as they begin again with a 1st and 10. They'll start with the option. And now off to the races down the right side. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now a give up the middle to Williams. And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. Now during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. While the medical staff checks on him, we'll step aside in this Week 1 contest. They stick to the ground game on 1st down. It's Williams. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
He'll buy some time right. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Raiders are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line. He got outside the pocket there trying to improvise, and he was calling for the ball downfield, but still the interception.
I think what happened, he did call for the ball thinking that he was open. I think the quarterback spotted him too late, and that margin that he had on the defenders, that got eaten up, and they came up with the interception.
70 yards rushing for him in this first half as he is looking in mid-season form here in the opener. 2nd down and 3. They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24. Give them 12 yards that time, and a Las Vegas first.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays. Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Here now, 3rd and a yard. Now Garoppolo on the bootleg. And the pressure gets there. He'll go down. It's a sack. And it is going to bring us to the 2-minute warning. On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Oh, able to avoid him. A 41-yard punt, 9 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Broncos about set to go on offense. But not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, it was working pretty well for this offense. Gaining chunks of garbage, getting first down, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
And all the way home for the Broncos score. Jerry Jeudy, 30 yards. And the Broncos have taken the lead. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Las Vegas' offense back out there, ready to go.
Here we go, here we go.
There was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it when every...
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. Marr now to add the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
The Raider offense going to head out now late in this first half. Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here, but with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something out of this drive.
And I'm going to go ahead and date myself one more time because I'm going to pull the word Smokey into Bandit lyric. They've got a long way to go and a short time to get there, but they still have time to get it done. So I'm looking forward to watching them mount this drive and see if they can get some points out of it.
Well, fellas, here we go.
Now Garoppolo throwing on second.
Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
This defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
A short throw, and that's hauled in by Mayer.
And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. He finds his man Johnson, and unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Here's Wilson. Steps away to his left. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. To throw is Wilson. Flushed out right. And he's going to go down again. Now the Broncos will use their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
2 straight sacks have them backed up now for a 3rd and goal.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes.
And the Broncos are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now.
Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. Here's Abdullah from his end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
Here we go, here we go.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And with only 4 seconds on the clock, time likely for just one snap of the football.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
Holding offense.
So we race the flag. They decline it.
And did they use the bigger rate?
All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the 3rd. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half.
On the return, here comes Smith out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. And the Broncos offense set to begin this 3rd quarter. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield. I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Williams going to get it again on second down.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
3rd and 9 here.
Here's Wilson to throw.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Well, it's too early to figure out what kind of adjustments this defense made at halftime, but that's a good start to the second half. They cannot afford to give up more points and fall further behind, so well done to force the punting situation here.
Here comes Abdullah on the return. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards.
And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half.
And Garoppolo going to lead the Raiders up here 1st and 10.
At the 41-yard line.
He'll give it to Jacobs to start the drive.
And a really good show of force there as he gets through for 4 tough yards.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. We always hate to see injuries, especially tough here in week 1. Just hoping this is nothing serious. We'll take a quick timeout. Second down, Jacobs once more. And only a couple there as he'll take this up to the 47. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. And I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down.
And that's a big pickup of a first down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. Calling a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
At the 34-yard line.
Garoppolo.
Pass thrown to Adams. He's got it on the crossing route.
And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 22-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. Strong run, but still wrangled before reaching the 20. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Dances by at the 20, and he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And a throw there going to be incomplete. Good work by that Bronco defense, and it leads to a 4th down. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
There he goes, left side. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown.
And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. As confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD. And if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
And Devontae's going to have a Raiders first down as the tackle going to be made up at the 37.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage because he lines up on the right and then runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
Now a timeout called for by the offense. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Second down, Jacobs once more. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Welcome back now to Denver. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. The Raiders on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This will be 3rd and 6. And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. And quickly they get to the line. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 141 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Now Garoppolo, gotta have this one. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked up by Fabian Moreau. And the Broncos will take over here just shy of the 30. Well, I guess an interception at this point on 4th down is just as bad as an incomplete pass. Either way, the ball goes over to the other side.
Yeah, it's a tough spot to be in this late in the game, and there's not a whole lot he can do there. And he winds up giving the ball away.
A 1st down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Here's 2nd and 7. They'll try and run down some clock with Williams.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he's got the 1st down as he's up to the 45-yard line. An effective 7-yard 3rd down conversion.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
At the 45-yard line.
They run it again with Williams. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco 1st down.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here.
Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10.
They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
They're looking for Judy, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Robert Spillane. And the Raiders are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line.
Well, they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys?
11.
Right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. But it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game.
11. 10.
On 1st down, they go with Jacobs again.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
But now he appears to be in some pain.
We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver.
Here we go.
2nd and a couple.
21.
Here's Jacobs from the gun. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line.
Go ahead.
Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs.
167 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Now they'll throw with Garoppolo. Flush to his right. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him there with a 3rd down situation. On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs.
And he is going to have the Raiders 1st down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1. Well, this was not just the opener of a brand new season, but this was a division game here in week 1, and it comes